Today we're going to talk about Palantir and their upcoming Q1 earnings. Palantir is a stock that's up over 40% year to date. However, most of that gain came back in February when they announced their Q4 earnings and the stock shot up over 50%. And because of this, investors are paying very close attention to their upcoming earnings report that will be announced on May 6th. We are going to go over expectations from this earnings report as well as much more. So if you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe. Let's start off with the company's expectations for Q1 of 2024. And they posted their guidance last quarter for revenue of anywhere from $612 to $616 million. So basically around $615 million of revenue for Q1. And then for adjusted income, they're expecting anywhere from $196 to $200 million. When you account for the shares that they have outstanding, this comes out to a non-GAAP EPS number of around 9 cents. And Google's expectations are about the same, with an expected EPS of about 8 cents and revenue a little bit on the higher end of $617.6 million. When we compare these numbers quarter after quarter, we can see that EPS would be flat if they come in with 8 cents, and revenue would see a slight increase of about $10 million. However, the two biggest things that investors are going to be paying attention to for Palantir is their government and their commercial revenue. Zacks has an estimated government revenue of $326 million. This is growth of about 13% year over year, and commercial revenue coming in at $289 million, indicating a growth year over year of about 22.5%. And this would actually be substantially slower growth in the commercial sector than what they saw in the fourth quarter, because in the fourth quarter, they were able to put up growth of 32% year over year to a total revenue of $284 million. And for that reason, I actually like this estimate a lot. For them to be only expected to grow their commercial revenue by 22% means that there is a lot of kind of sandbagging going in, and it offers the potential for Palantir to come in with a very strong beat on their commercial revenue side. And if they're able to do that, investors will come flooding into the stock again, and we could potentially see another solid run up. Probably not 50% like we saw back in February, but maybe a solid 10, 15, 20% run up in the stock price. Keep in mind, for a move of that size, we would need to see Palantir come in with a revenue growth for their commercial sector of probably 30 to 40% year over year. I don't think we'll see that just because of how high interest rates are. I don't think commercial customers are going to be as readily investing into technology like Palantir is offering. I think they're going to wait a little bit until we start seeing interest rates coming down, and then we'll start seeing a lot of businesses reinvesting into growth and technologies like what Palantir is offering. But one thing I like so much about Palantir is the fact that they do have a very strong government base, and this is something you can always count on. The government is always spending money, no matter how high interest rates are or how low they are. And again, they're expected to grow their government revenue by about 12.9% this quarter. And part of that growth is around the fact that they signed a contract back in March with the US Army for $178.4 million. The full contract is not going to just hit in 2024. It's a multi-year deal, so the estimate is somewhere around $89 million per year over the next 2 years. And this contract is to develop artificial intelligence as well as machine learning for the US Army. Specifically, this contract is being used to develop a system known as Titan, or Tactical Intelligence Targeting Access Node. Basically, it's helping the military with their long-range missiles and to be able to be more precise with those missiles using AI technology. From a shareholder point of view, the biggest benefit to all of this is the fact that Palantir still has a very strong relationship with the government. And this is something that will serve the business very well, especially during difficult times. We're not seeing super difficult times right now. We have seen a lot of positivity in recent earnings. However, if something were to happen where the economy turns sideways, you can always rely on the government to spend money, and especially spend money on the military. Analysts on Yahoo Finance have a very tight range for this quarter. They have an average EPS estimate of 8 cents with a low of 7 cents and a high of 10 cents. Overall, this still is very solid growth for Palantir year over year, as they put up 5 cents a year ago. And for the current year of 2024, they have an average EPS estimate of 33 cents compared to a year ago of 25 cents. This is not great growth year over year. However, I think Palantir is going to come through and beat this on the back half of the year. Because Palantir is a little bit more in a growth stage, their top line revenue numbers are going to hold a little more weight than their bottom line. And what we can see here on Yahoo Finance is they have an average revenue estimate of $625 million. This is about $10 million more than what Palantir was expecting when they offered guidance in Q4. And that's about 19.1% growth year over year. For the full year, they're expecting about 21.9% growth in terms of their top line. I'd love to see this number again get a little bit closer to that 25% growth year over year. One thing I paid attention to in the last couple of weeks is a lot of these tech companies and how they were reporting, because I do think that this will have a factor on Palantir's business. And the fact that Google came in with their cloud revenue jumping 28% to $9.57 billion in Q1, I think is a very good indication that companies are still willing to spend money on a lot of these cloud services and AI technology. And this could allude to a very strong earnings from Palantir in this quarter. And another thing that I like from Palantir is they provide realistic guidance, if not even a little bit low in terms of their guidance. And you see this from a lot of very good companies is they provide guidance just below where they think they can actually hit to make sure that they come in and actually beat those numbers. And Palantir, out of the last 4 quarters, has been on the top and bottom line 3 out of the 4, with 2 EPS beats of over 25% and a revenue beat of almost 4% a year ago. So personally, I do think that Palantir is going to come in with a top and bottom line beat on both of their numbers. I think that their EPS could come in anywhere from 9 cents to 12 cents. Anything above that would be absolutely outstanding. However, I think that they're probably more realistically going to be in that 9 to 10 cent EPS mark. For revenue, I'm expecting them to come in around $620 million. If they come in 625 or above, I think that will be a very good beat, and that will especially show growth on their commercial customer base. Investors are going to want to see commercial customers growing at a very fast pace, and I think if they're able to beat significantly on their total revenue number, it's going to be largely due to commercial customer growth. But don't buy a stock just because some random guy on YouTube talked about it. Make sure you are doing your own research and looking into companies that meet your risk tolerance as well as your time horizon. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe. And as always, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. And for the joke of the day, what country's capital is growing the fastest? Check the comments down below for the answer. Thanks for watching.